This is the new iPad Pro with the M2 chip, and this is the 10th gen iPad. And today we're going to be doing some light gaming on both of them. This one has the A14 Bionic chip that came with the iPhone 12, and this one has the new M2 chip that came with the MacBook Pro 13 and the MacBook Air. And if you don't know already that you can connect a PS4 or a PS5 controller to your iPad to game with it, let me show you how. You go to settings, then Bluetooth, you press on the controller on the PS and the share button. If it's already connected to your PS, it's gonna disconnect, and here we go. It's gonna give us this light, and now we can see here on the iPad, and boom, it's connected. As you can see, I can control the iPad with the controller, and we can also see here the battery of the controller, which it needs some charging. Let's game for a bit. What I'm here to test is not the capabilities of the chips, because I know the A14 Bionic chip can do everything we need already, and the M2 chip on an iPad is just insane. Instead, what I'm actually testing is the battery consumption. Both of them were unplugged at the same time, and both of them are at 100%, and I'm gonna be playing the exact same games for the exact same time. I'm also testing the heat management for both chips, so let's get into it. Having a big screen like this, and the quality is insane, and the controller, I mean, this is a light gaming console on the go. The speakers experience is also really good. We have 4 speakers, and it's very immersive. Big screen, very detailed game. The iPad is slightly warm over here. Of course, I'm the MVP. Now let's move up to the iPad 10th generation. And by the way, this is the Magic Keyboard, and no, the 10th generation does not hold on it. It cannot connect, but I'm gonna use it as a stand so you can see the Magic Keyboard is not the right keyboard for the iPad 10th gen. So we'll do the same thing. We'll play a couple of games over here. As you can see here that the iPad is also at 100%. Let's start gaming. Let's see if gaming on both of them is any different. This is the only game where the A14 Bionic will struggle a little bit. I put the graphics at the highest possible. It can play very good, but we can see some drop frames. This is the game where a lot of smartphones that I've tested before struggle with heat and battery consumption. The quality of the game on this screen is really nice, and of course everything went smoothly. One of the games that I really wanted to play on the iPad for a long time is Clash Royale. If you played it on your phone before, you'd really appreciate the big screen. The size of the screen is what makes it really good. You can really get into the game. Now let's do the same on the iPad Pro with the Apple Pencil. The quality of the screen is noticeably better on the iPad Pro, but while gaming you can barely see the difference between the two screens because you're so immersed in the game itself that it's not that big of a difference. This one is not that bad, it's really good, but compared to the iPad Pro screen, it's then when you can see a difference. Now the amount of games that support using a controller is not that much, so just for a demo, let's say this game doesn't accept a controller. How the gaming experience on the iPad will be. Now holding the iPad like this will make you close up some of the speakers, and for the iPad 10th gen, the main speakers are the bottom ones. So holding this iPad like this will close up the only 2 speakers that you have, but on the iPad Pro we have 4 speakers, so you only close up 2 out of 4. But still, it's not going to be the best sounding experience. You'll have some muffled audio. And by the way, holding the iPad like this makes you realize that the controls are a little bit far away for your fingers. Plus, the iPad is a little bit heavy, so holding it like this for a long period of time will be a little bit too much. It's not the worst experience, but having a controller is definitely much better. The M2 chip is really smooth on this game, and this is the only game that cracked up the A14, the 15, and the 16 Bionic chips, as we got some drop frames with them. I mean, of course, the M2 chip is nowhere near the other chips, but still, it's good to put it in perspective against the A14 Bionic in terms of iPad gaming. Weirdly enough, though, this game also got the M2 chip a little bit warm. The whole experience without a controller is not the best, but on Clash Royale, for example, it was really good. With the Apple Pencil, is even better. But thankfully, we can game on this with the controller. Let's bring back the controller. We're back with the controller, and let's go. Now, it got a little bit warmer, but not like the iPhone with my tests. And neither of the iPads got super hot like the iPhone. Let's check on the batteries. 89 over here, and 89 over here too. So, battery consumption on both of them is exactly the same. Performance-wise, this one performed really well. We only had few drop frames with Genshin Impact, which is the heaviest game on the App Store. The difference between both screens while gaming is insignificant. If you want to get an iPad for light gaming, both of them performed almost exactly the same. The M2 chip is an overkill for the iPad. And of course, you can use a controller with both of them. I'll be doing a lot more tests on both of them very soon to see how far we can go with each chip. See you.